Season 1, Episode 1, Friendship is Magic. I'll try to make the videos shorter next time, since this one is over half the length of the episode proper. The episode begins with a little bit of exposition by introducing us to the immediate conflict. This conflict involves two sisters, one with the day as her domain, and the other of the night. The sister of the night grows jealous of her older sister, as while all the ponies are awake during the day, they're always asleep during the night, and never get to appreciate the night's beauty. The younger sister, in her envy, becomes a malevolent nightmare moon, and refuses to make way for the day, forcing her sister's hand to use the elements of harmony to banish her. We now follow Twilight Sparkle, a young but socially inept academic, who is implied to have read the expositional tale from the beginning of the episode, as she rushes into her extravagant and oriental-inspired tower to read more about the elements of harmony. Here we are also introduced to her pet, a baby dragon named Spike, who seems to be a personal assistant and acquaintance at Twilight. I'm not quite sure of their relation yet, but it seems that Twilight takes care of him to some capacity. I should also mention that before she rushed into her tower, to read more about the elements of harmony, she also encountered a few friends of hers that invited her to a function of sorts, and I'm not sure what the fate of them is, because it seems as though Twilight just forgets about them and abandons them once she later moves to Ponyville. So back to the tower, Twilight continues looking for more information related to the elements of harmony and the mare on the moon, and she throws a big hissy fit and makes a mess of the place for Spike to clean up. In this episode, they seem to make Twilight really easily frustrated and impatient, almost to an arrogant extent. But anyways, through Twilight's further investigation, she discovers that the mare on the moon, Nightmare Moon, is fated to return on the longest day of the year, 1,000 years after her banishment, which also so happens to be tomorrow, during the Summer Sun Festival. Twilight then has Spike draft up a letter to warn Princess Celestia of Nightmare Moon's return, and Spike is annoyingly illiterate even though he should be used to Twilight's extensive vocabulary.
Threshold. Brink? That something really bad is about to happen.
Twilight then somehow physically abuses Spike verbally when he struggles to transcribe her speech again.
Important!
And afterwards, Spike uses his magic dragon powers to email Celestia and Canterlot. Celestia replies immediately and tells Twilight not to worry about it, and assigns her to instead oversee the Summer Sun celebration preparations in Ponyville, as well as make some friends for once. Upon landing, Twilight shows an as of yet unprecedented display of kindness on her part by thanking the stallions, and is then approached by a local of Ponyville, who Spike encourages her to make friends with.
Hello?
From here, we are introduced to the rest of the main six individually, and get a basic feel for their characters and their associations, with Twilight getting off on the wrong hoof every time. First we have Applecrack, who assails Twilight with her southern hospitality, and introduces her to her extended family. Each member of the family then presents Twilight with their signature apple-themed dishes, and Twilight regurgitates them all after being subjected to their poorly disguised stuffing fetish, and then stays for brunch after Apple Bloom wins her heart over. Then Twilight is assailed again, unexpectedly meeting Rainbow Dash, an eccentric and hyperactive Pegasus with a tomboyish attitude. To make amends, Rainbow Dash washes the mud off Twilight and dries her with her patented method. It's already somewhat clear to see why Rainbow Dash became a fan favorite later on, with her bright colors and playful attitude. It's also somewhat curious that Twilight Sparkle already knew who Rainbow Dash was, which implies that she has a reputation that extends beyond Ponyville.
Your Rainbow Dash. The one and only. Why? You heard of me?
Twilight chastises Rainbow Dash's lack of attention to her duty for the summer sun celebration, which is keeping the sky clear. Rainbow Dash says that she's training to become a Wonderbolt, and that she's busy, and that she'll clear the sky when she's done. The Wonderbolts being a group of professional athletes, and Twilight sees this as simply her daydreaming, and provokes Rainbow Dash's ego by saying that she can't even keep the sky clear, so why would they take a Pegasus like her? And Rainbow Dash assures her that she can clear the sky in 10 seconds flat if she wanted to, and Twilight takes her up on the challenge. It also seems like Rainbow Dash mentioning the Wonderbolts is a setup for a future plot point or episode where she actually does join the Wonderbolts or tries to. Spike and Twilight, with her ridiculous hair, then go on to meet Rarity, a stunning little nymphette with a refined taste in fashion. Spike immediately falls head over heels for her, while Rarity becomes fixated on giving Twilight a much-needed makeover. I like how most of the mares are depicted with flat colors for their manes, whereas Rarity has a bit of gradient and shine to it. Spike, starstruck, then starts flying as if he's just smelt a pie. I really like this scene where they have Twilight dressing up in a multitude of different outfits. It's very cute. I also think it was a very good choice for them to give Rarity a mid-Atlantic / transatlantic accent, very reminiscent of old cinema, and it kind of fits her sophisticated attitude.
Hear all about it. We are gonna be the best of friends, you and I. Emerald? What was I thinking? Let me get you some rubies.
And now we meet Fluttershy, who is supposed to be in charge of the music for the Summer Sun celebration. And she currently is conducting her choir of birds. And Twilight loudly interrupts and scares all the birds away.
Now, follow me, please. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Hello!
And then Twilight tries to introduce herself to Fluttershy, to which Fluttershy makes some stupid noises. Only to then be enamored by Spike, the baby dragon. It also seems that of the main 6 that we've met so far, Pinkie Pie has been the only one that hasn't assaulted Twilight in meeting her. Fluttershy then follows Twilight all the way back to her lodging in the middle of Ponyville. And Twilight makes the excuse that it's Spike's bedtime, but Fluttershy has to be pushed out of the house, as she wants to tuck Spike in.
So I can study without a bunch of crazy ponies trying to make friends all the time. Now where's the light?
And now, as we enter Twilight's lodging, it is revealed that the pony she met initially, Pinkie Pie, has actually thrown a surprise party for her, and she gives her reasoning as to why she was so shocked when they had met earlier.
I saw you when you first got here, remember? You were all hello, and I was all, remember? You see, I never saw you before, and if I never saw you before, that meant you're new. Because I know every pony, and I knew every pony in Ponyville. And if you're new, it meant you hadn't met anyone yet. And if you haven't met anyone yet, you must not have any friends. And if you don't have any friends, then you must be lonely. And that made me so sad, and I had an idea. And that's why I went, I should throw a great, big, ginormous, super-duper spectacular welcome party and invite everyone in Ponyville. See?
And then Twilight, like an autistic teenager, goes upstairs to hide from the rest of the party. The party that Pinkie Pie is throwing is also supposed to double as a party for the eve of the Summer Sun celebration, and the party is supposed to go on all night so that they can watch the sunrise. Twilight, however, is fed up with all of this holding her back from her studies.
Here I thought I'd have time to learn more about the elements of harmony, but silly me, all this ridiculous friend-making has kept me from it.
And then all the ponies of Ponyville go to this venue where Princess Celestia is supposed to make an appearance for the eve of the Summer Sun celebration. But Princess Celestia is nowhere to be found, and instead confirming Twilight's worries, Nightmare Moon makes an appearance. Twilight then shocks everyone, including Nightmare Moon, for she is the only pony that actually can identify Nightmare Moon, the tale of her already being long forgotten. Nightmare Moon then declares that the night shall reign forever, and we're left with a cliffhanger as to what happens in the next episode. Overall, as this is the pilot and I don't have a baseline to compare it to, this episode will get a solid A. I thought it was enjoyable and had no immediately obvious gripes with it.